You can ask for anything and receive it. So if you want to see something ugly or you want to see something beautiful or you want and desire to have some. That's not good. Give me a second. Although it did make confirmation happen as well. Anyways, it's handled. This is what I want to say. That thing that's yours will always be yours. And if your life is miserable, it's because you choose it. Hurt happens, pain happens, but I also see it as something that can be non existent in your life. Seriously. If you aren't thinking negative thoughts, if you aren't thinking about all of these things, then it's not being brought into your life. I'm not saying people aren't negative, and I'm not saying people aren't doing evil ass shit. But as long as you don't accept it, it's not in your life. It's just in their life. Okay? I meditated heavily on this incident that happened to me when I was a young teenager. I was hanging out with all the girls and I was glad to do it because after this one girl came to town, there were certain people, my friends started fading away from me because she started dating the guy that I used to date. And I never even considered that the reason that the one girl was friends with me because she wasn't. Because whatever. I mean, she might have been friends with me because her brother liked me. I don't know. I really don't care. But I never considered it until this moment. Now, that being said, our families were pretty fucking close. So close that we lived in our house for a really short time, and I really think that's what broke up the relationship. The fact that her life was upended. You know, they had the so called perfect two, kids. They didn't have any animals. The parents fought all the time, but so did mine. There's nothing different about that. Anyway, people just saw our family differently. When you're walking around with a bunch of pristine girls who are very, innocent, especially in the church, you get accolades for that shit. I earned my reputation in church the way that I should, which is honorable and respectable. And I found myself many times watching and, babysitting people's children who are in the higher ups, situation. Never did I really get any privilege for it or anything like that. Anyway, at least kind of that I saw. There was no she's better than you kind of attitude. Now, I do recall one time where someone was talking about something bad to do with some boy liking me, and the girl that I was friends with liked the boy. Okay? Anyway, I didn't. I even went on a date with him later. He was a little over the top. But he also wasn't very consistent. Had he been consistent, we would have ended up together. Because I was looking for consistency. Anyway, my point is this. These particular girls asked me what I liked best about my body, and they were talking about theirs, which I really wasn't even paying attention to. I was trying to figure out why we were in this food line and why we were looking for this guy if these two had broke up and all of this other drama. She was trying to make herself look like she was wanted, but really she was desperate. I didn't see it that way at the time. I was the only one who ended up staying the night at this girl's house, and I think everybody else knew how it was already. I think they set me up to do it so that I would tell everybody. So it would benefit them. This girl literally was so obsessed with me. You wouldn't believe what she tried to do to me. Anyway, I also kept thinking about this scenario over and over and over again because I was like, I had just decided what I liked about myself, which was everything at this point, physically at least. I was never told by my mother that we had women's bodies as the age of 14 and 15 years old. But I do tell my children to realize, hey, you're not petite, okay? You're not a small girl, but you're not those ugly words either. They're literally going to be a 5'9", okay? We're not 5'2", okay? We're not small people. We're big boned. What actual big bone is. Not some made up delinquent shit so that you can feel good about the fact that you weigh too much, okay? Anyways, I digress again. My point to you again is this. I also thought about those people, but I thought about how tragic it was. I thought about why would they do that to me? And then I actually ended up becoming one of these girls' sisters-in-laws. After they set it up where this girl just went with this girl, she literally orchestrated everything to capture the guy that I ended up marrying later in life. I have no care for that. I wasn't in some competition, and I laughed at him when I found out he dated her again. His claims is that she forced herself, that he, didn't want her to move in. He always told her to get out, and his excuse to me was he never told me to get out. Well, I can't imagine what she went through, because I never really got told to get out, ever. But he was extremely abusive to me. Many different times over, and the only reason I was there is because of some God. I was going to say God situation, God complex. And on some level, I probably did have that. I realized that I don't care about any of it. I realized that in truth, this girl that was being mean to me was the size of a 2 or 0 or whatever, but she wasn't a size of a woman. She was a petite girl. And now she weighs like 300 pounds, maybe less now since she's found herself a new husband. See, the very thing that he goes on and on and on about me about, she got married in a shorter amount of time than I did. In the time that me and my husband were dating, she went and got married to somebody else. And I was getting a divorce from this guy. Now, there's some things that I've done. I'm going to start. I just don't know if I want to say all of these things, right? The point is that all these people were involved in my life for a multitude of reasons. And one day I was in front of this guy tying something around his neck for a play I was in. And someone had moved my my flag that I was supposed to utilize, and then put it back. So I was completely set up. And, or maybe not. Maybe I just misplaced it. But I said to myself, I'm going to marry this guy, and I heard yes. The thing is that I ever asked another question, I would have realized he was going to be my most abusive husband yet. And the thing is that this girl, there was supposed to be, even from him, some sort of satisfaction that she had gained so much weight. But the thing was that I was never fat to begin with when I was in this situation. Never once. I was shapely. I was the size of a woman. I was everything I should be, and then some, because I had a powerful, on-purpose attitude without even using those words to begin with. I'm blown away by the circumstances. Like, how does this person get back involved in my life, right? How did they have access? Well, the same person that I gave access in my life also gave access to this person. And they utilized every story that I ever told them to make fun of me about. I was thinking about my third husband and how I told you all the things that I told you, and this, that, or whatever, and I do let it go because I really don't care. I'd rather be honest and heal than be a liar and a hypocrite. Because I want a long life upon this earth. Yeah. And I'm still pretty happy with my body, and I haven't been insecure about it since I was in my early 20s. See, it didn't matter the size that I was when the guy wanted my virginity. And it didn't matter the size that I was when someone else wanted to have sex with me. Although I was not even smaller then, I wasn't. It wasn't a matter of anything until I saw the difference about how guys treated me once I had lost weight. But prior to that, I still had a lot of opportunities. I had a lot of situations. I just never considered it being an issue. See, something I didn't register then, and I do register now, but I'm going to let it go as of this moment, is the fact that anyone could decide anything at any given moment about you based on the color of your skin, the way you're wearing your hair, the color of your hair, the way you're wearing your clothing. They'll have this, that, or whatever go through their own head. And they will decide whatever they want to decide based off of whatever it is that suits them best. But the truth is that when you're living authentically, it's not about just what suits you best. Because you ain't even thinking about it. You're not even thinking about it. But I will tell you this. This whole subject is what you did to bring it back into your life. And you have a chance not to. You have a chance to handle it and be free of it. What are you going to do?